Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am a little behind today. It's Friday, and this day is coming fast to an end, so I needed to go ahead and get this video out. There's so many different things that I wanted to go over. The first one's this. This is from Bank XRP. This is a short video where Hester Pierce is basically saying that I'm talking about how we've fallen behind on the crypto ETF front, Bitcoin ETF. Watch this.
I hope that we'll learn from what the Canadians have done. We get a chance to watch how it's working up there, and maybe that'll motivate us.
So basically she's saying, we should have already had an ETF. Canada already has, I think, 2. Then there was this. Today they had another one of those conference calls with the court, Ripple's attorneys and the SEC's attorneys. I have not gotten any of this information yet, but we'll see it when we get it. They had a call in where you could listen, and that was it. And there's somebody down here that said, "Oof, the Ripple lawyer's a pit bull." Well, that's what you're supposed to be to earn your money if you're a lawyer. XRP Bart sent me this one. The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is now the largest public holder of Bitcoin, but competition is heating up. Now, I have talked to people. I'll just mention this for what it's worth. I have talked to people. I always tell you I own a little bit of Bitcoin. Well, a little bit of my Bitcoin is in this Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The symbol, for those of you, especially for those of you out there who don't want to go through the process of having a Coinbase account or any of these things, or worrying about your private keys and all that, if you want to own some Bitcoin, it's the symbol for it is GBTC, and you can go buy. Now there's a premium when you buy it that's more than you would pay if you were just buying Bitcoin out on Coinbase or something. But you can do that, and I bought some of it myself. Okay, now this is Anthony Scaramucci, who's a Bitcoin maxi, a new one. Bitcoin maxi, and I'm going to let you listen to this, and I'll tell you where he's wrong.
I can't attribute the action in gold to anything other than it's at least a percentage of those people are now buying Bitcoin and not gold, because gold, given that what you're describing, gold should be running right now. Is it going to Bitcoin?
The world is changing. That's the vinyl record, Joe. That's the vinyl record. The world's changing. This
never did before with gold, Anthony. That's what people would say. I mean, you go back 4,000 years. Is it really changing this time? I mean, it kind of looks like it.
I don't buy this narrative at all. I used to, but I don't now. I think Bitcoin was created by the same people that don't want you to be in gold. Listen.
Well, I mean, it was 1500 something where Copernicus said, we may be revolving around the sun. I mean, things do change. And so we have to look at it rationally, and we have to accept that if money is a technology that allows us to transfer goods and services to each other efficiently, the technology around us would likely improve money, which is a form of technology. And so Bitcoin has done that, and Bitcoin has slayed 8,300 competitors. It's the largest market cap of all the cryptocurrencies, 60 or 70% of the overall market cap, depending on where the prices are bouncing. And in a lot of ways, if you really study it, Joe, it's better than gold. It's easier to store. You can move it around more quickly. And that value and that trusted network is growing. It's 110 million now. By 2025, it'll be at 1 billion. And if we're right and it adopts pursuant to Metcalfe's law, you want to own some Bitcoin. And
okay, so here's what the reason that I hold this thought pattern is a few. But one of them is that I keep telling you, proof of work doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense that these money people are pushing Bitcoin the way they are, because anybody who's really studied it knows that the technology does not work. It doesn't have any utility. It can only be a store of value. But here's the other thing. I think it was Christine Lagarde. I played you a clip a week or two ago from Christine Lagarde, where somebody asked, it was either her or some other central banker type, who they were asked if central banks would ever hold Bitcoin, and they kind of laughed and said, no way. Okay. Meanwhile, while all of this money is being driven into Bitcoin, this is what's going on with the central banks. This is from March 16th. Poland's central bank is set to go on gold buying spree. And then down here, it says, let's see, right here. Some central banks have been stepping up their gold purchases as they become less reliant on the U.S. dollar. Russia and China have been the most notable nations moving in this direction. Just 3 weeks ago, Kitco reported that the nation's gold share jumped to 22.9% over the year to June 30th. What is the one place that the governments of the world do not like you putting your money in? That is physical gold, okay? It just makes sense to me that this whole Bitcoin thing, and trust you me, Bitcoin is not the one, okay? It just makes sense to me that the plan all along has been to drive everyone into Bitcoin and then regulate it, rein it in, and then they can send it wherever they want it sent. That's what I think. But there's other problems like this. Vitalik Buterin is helping to strategize against a Ethereum 51% attack, okay? So what's he worried about unless he knows that proof of work does not work? Proof of work digital assets, if someone can control 51% of the mining power, they can attack it, okay? And then here is an article, this is from back in 2019, the cost of a Bitcoin 51% attack. Bitcoin remains the largest and most popular cryptocurrency at the moment. Now the price has gone up since this article. At the time, they're saying that in order to do a 51% on Bitcoin, attack on Bitcoin, it would cost around $1.6 billion, okay? Now, that's probably a higher figure, but let's say it's 10 times that. Let's say it's 10 billion now, okay? What is 10 billion if you were China and you had all of the hash power, if you had 51% of the hash power? How genius would it be to go to the CFTC or whoever has the Bitcoin futures, bet against Bitcoin to the tune of, say, 10 billion or 50 billion. I mean, that kind of money's nothing for a government. 50 billion, and then do a 51% attack on Bitcoin that would be catastrophic, that cost you 10 billion. You do the math. Okay, but the fact is it can be done. Proof of work does not work. No, and the bigger point there is, do you think the U.S. government and other governments around the world are going to allow a financial system to be built around a technology that the scenario I just painted for you, where China shorts Bitcoin and at the same time does a 51% attack? Do you think that the governments of the world are going to build a financial system around that technology? The answer is no. I can tell you right now, stamp it on your forehead, no, they are not. That's why I keep telling you Bitcoin is not the one. It is a freaking prototype. The ones that are going to change the world of finance are the ones I've been talking about for almost 3 years on this channel, and I don't even have to say them because you know them. It's Friday. Okay? Bondcrypt. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell says central bank-backed digital currencies must coexist alongside cash and other forms of money. I believe what this is about, I believe they don't want to scare. I mean, there's a lot of old timers and old school people in the United States and other countries who are comfortable with cash. They're not going to scare them on the front end of this thing. They're going to hold their hand into these digital assets, and the door might be slammed down the road, but in the short run, it's not going to be slammed on cash completely. You couldn't do it that way. And then this guy had an interesting tweet. So on February 28th, Federal Reserve says digital U.S. dollar CBDC is their highest priority. March 3rd, Ripple announces they are running a private XRPL for CBDCs. Today, Powell says they need the help of private sector technology to create the digital U.S. dollar. Interesting stuff right there. All right. Then there's this. This is Augustin Carstens from the BIS, the Central Bank of Central Banks. Listen to what he says.
Our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash. And there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
So this is what I just said about Jerome Powell. You need to understand this stuff, and you need to go ahead and accept what this is. Digital assets, and I didn't think this when I first got into it. This was most of it was created by governments. Make no mistake about it. These guys like him, these central bankers, they created this, and the whole purpose of this, look, technology can be used for positive or for negative. And I hope that from a political standpoint, the masses will let them know to not go too far down the evil road. But make no mistake, the reason they love this idea so much and the reason they all created it, which they did, is they did it because it's about control. Think about it. Once everybody is into this digital asset space, once everybody's in, they can impose negative interest rates. They can airdrop you money if they want. Say politically that it's in their favor to airdrop you $100. Okay, they'll be able to do that. They could impose the negative interest rates. They can impose taxes or fines or whatever they want to do. This is about control, and always has been. It took me a while to really understand that, but it's true. The way I'm looking at this is, look, this is here. This is coming. The powers that be are doing it, and so here's where the way I see where I'm coming from. I want to get as wealthy as possible as a result of it, so that hopefully I can be controlled less than some people who did not see this coming. That's the way I'm looking at this. And I didn't used to look at it that way. But make no mistake, there are a lot of people involved in all this that the reason they love it, these central bankers, they know once they get us into this that they've got you, because they know where everything is, with the blockchain. That's what it's always been about. Don't be naive about this, folks. Gator Trader sent me this. Listen to the front end of this. It's back to the Bitcoin thing. And I'm not trying to just keep pounding this. The only reason I keep pounding it is not because I'm wanting to pound Bitcoin. It's because I see what's coming. And a few years ago, I didn't see things as clearly as I do now. I see them very clearly. I almost feel like I'm plugged into the freaking Matrix, and I can see, like, people were laughing at me saying I was crazy when I was talking about the nodes on satellites. And then 2 weeks ago, there was an article about JP Morgan testing blockchain on satellites. This is not your imagination. We've been right about a lot of this stuff, and a lot of us have learned along the way what's really going on too. So pay attention to the first part of this. Now, Kevin O'Leary is trying to parlay this into some kind of money-making thing for himself, but that's not the important part. The important part's the front end of this, what he says, because he's right on the front end.
Because I'm so involved with institutions, in constant dialogue with them and sovereign funds in various countries, I got a ton of phone calls. I was not anticipating this, and they were all the same. The coin you own, the Bitcoin you own, where was it mined? Who cares? They said, no. That coin was probably mined in China, where they take coal and they burn it to generate electricity at an ever-increasing amount to mine Bitcoin. And they have human rights issues with the rest of the world, and they have human rights abuses, and they're a sanctioned country in terms of tariffs in the United States. And you own coin mined there? So if you know, and I know this now, every single coin, you can tell exactly when it was created, but you can't tell where it was created. And so to be compliant with these compliant committees that are sitting on top of institutions that care about sustainability, care about human rights abuses, care about origin of assets, including Bitcoin. So I said, okay.
All right, so that's the important part before he starts his sales pitch. Now, Then you've got Janet Yellen from Ian Northern. Yellen vows to use full power of U.S. government to tackle climate change. Well, how do you tackle climate change? You tackle climate change. What funny? I mean, she's in charge of, it's about the finance, but to tackle climate change, what you do is you go after, you regulate anything that was related to finance that is going to, sorry, my phone was ringing. You regulate anything related to finance that is going to be something that works against climate change. Bitcoin, proof of work. It's in your face, obvious, okay? Now, I wanted to show you all, my dad has really been doing a good job of going and finding some of these topics where he just hasn't understood things and wanted to find out for himself. And then I said, well, make it into a video and try to explain these things to average people. So in this video, he said he's done 6 ways to make money, Flare Finance on UFN, okay? Flare Finance, and I wanted to play a short clip of this. Now, go give him a subscribe. My dad is really appreciative. He's got over 7,000 subscribers now. You got to go listen to him. He does a different style of show than what I do, but he does it in his own style. My dad's a dresser, and you'll notice from watching his videos, he dresses a lot nicer than I do, which is why he can show his face, whereas I just stay behind the microphone. But it's CFTT TV. Go give him a subscribe. I did.
Application. What is yield farming? According to Decrypt, at its core, yield farming is a process that allows cryptocurrency holders to lock up their holdings, which in turn provides them with rewards. Yield farming involves lending out crypto.
Okay, sorry, my son was knocking on the door because he has a migraine. Let me finish this thing up. I was just playing you a little bit more of my dad's video.
In order to earn fixed or variable interest, the rewards can be far greater than traditional investments, but higher rewards bring higher risk, especially if the market is volatile. Now, on to number 3, Flare USD.
Okay, so anyway, you should go watch this video. He's really doing a good job out there, so go give him a shout. Okay, Kava Labs had tweeted this today. Trade Kava and hard on Binance. I told you about this contest the other day. They retweeted it again. Tips to collect and win. Ask your friends to send you their extra cards. Then 2, exchange your duplicate cards for cards you need. And then XRP Vets Diamonds to the Sky sent me this. There's 3 photos he sent me that were kind of cool that kind of show you this Brooks Entwistle that just was hired at Ripple, how connected this guy is. It says he's the chief business officer at Uber, and he's there with, let's see, president of Pakistan. And then there's another photo he sent me where he's here with the Toyota people from Toyota Motor Company. I guess maybe those guys are the executives there. And then he sent me this one. This is where he's at a panel with someone from Ant Financial, Alipay, chairman of, let's see what this is, NTTPR. And then, let's see, and then this one, he's with Jack Dorsey from Twitter. So it kind of shows you that this looks like my thumbnail pic right there. But anyway, so I'm going to put an XRP right there on his shirt. That's perfect picture. Anyway, just wanted to show you that this guy is somebody. All right, final thing I wanted to show you. Visa CEO will let you spend crypto at 70 million merchants. This is from Bank XRP. This thing's about to get exciting. Something I haven't brought up in a while. This is in the description of all my videos. There's a Ledger family pack. You can get 3 Ledger Nano S's, a hard wallet so you can store your crypto offline, or you can control the private keys. They've got a deal where it's a discount where you can get 3 of them for $139. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that you can get a Ledger Family Pack S, and there's a sale on it. Thank you for listening.